Thank you for being here to present for us and for taking me off the hook with my technology issues here this afternoon.
Hey, thank you so much, Ryan, and thank you, InnovateWork, for having me. Rob and Bill, really, really appreciate it. And to all the attendees, really appreciate you being a part as well. Let me share my screen with all of you as I'm excited to be a part of this session. All right. All right. And you can all see my screen? Great.
It looks good.
Fantastic. So we're going to talk about diversifying your talent pipeline. I'm really excited about this conversation. I'd love to start off by saying that diversity hiring considers equitable procedures in the recruitment process. And what we're doing is we're just trying to reduce bias for applicants within marginalized groups. But ultimately what I'm trying to say here is we're hiring humans, right? Because sometimes we look at talent from, with different experiences and backgrounds, and it's almost like we feel like they might come across less qualified, and that's absolutely not the case. We're hiring qualified, skilled, talented people who are from different genders, age, race, different ethnicity, so many different demographic factors, and that bring innovation and creativity to our organizations. And so McKinsey did a study in 2015 on a report called Diversity Matters. Maybe some of you have seen it before, where what they recognize is that companies in the top quartile of gender diversity were 15% more, and I'm sorry about that, were 15% more likely to have greater financial returns. And when they looked at ethnic and racial diversity, it was literally 35+%. When they looked at companies where their management teams and boards were more diverse, one thing that they recognized is that companies in the US, their earnings before interest and taxes were 1.1% higher, and in the UK, it was over 5.8% higher. Now, companies in the bottom quartile, what ended up happening is they achieved less than above average results. And so, why we bring this all together is this report really, really shows and gives a lot of substance to the fact that having more diverse teams really creates stronger performance and greater innovation in your organizations. And so let's look at 5 key ways we can do that, because all of our local marketplaces are looking for skilled talent, and it's really, really, really important that we find the best and most qualified people out there. So it is said that male applicants will apply to roles even if they only have 60 to 70% of the qualifications on that job description. Whereas with female applicants, they will typically only apply to positions when they have 90 to 100% of the qualifications listed. And so we might be missing out on a great pool of talent. And so here's some thoughts of ways that you can, maximize and optimize your job description. So for example, consider having must-haves and clearly defining what those must-haves are on your job descriptions. Now, I know that some companies, and we are all guilty of it sometimes, just list a whole bunch of different responsibilities, right, that our hiring managers give us. But if you put must-haves and even nice-to-haves clearly defined, that will help to increase the flow into your talent pipelines. Also consider using gender neutral words versus masculine and feminine words. So you can consider using an AI tool like Textio or others, or just simply take out words that say strong leader and use exceptional leader, right? Use words that really reflect the community to garner a greater pipeline of applications. Now, here's an equity statement that I would love for you all to consider. It says, when we recognize that people come with a wealth of experience and talent beyond just the technical requirements of a job, if your experience is close to what you see listed, please consider applying. And it continues to go on by encouraging people to apply from all backgrounds. And I encourage you all, put an equity statement at the bottom of your job descriptions, because I have proven experience through my recruitment team of them letting me know that people have literally said that they have applied because they read that statement. Number 2, let's look at pipelining for diversity. Now, we know of many different traditional means like job boards, the referral network, things of that nature, but I want you to consider 2 important pipelines. Number 1, partnerships and networks. In your local communities, you have different networks and different companies that can partner and agencies that can partner for free, no cost to you whatsoever. So for example, like in the Toronto area, we have like the Black Professionals Technology Network. We have Venture Out for LGBTQ professionals. We have NPower that deals with marginalized youth, and so on and so forth. There are so many different partnership networks that you can connect with that can provide a greater pipeline for diverse talent. And also maximizing your digital channels like social media, whether it's LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever, you can use that to literally showcase your culture and drive applications. I've seen the stats where if you look at youth between the ages of 19 and 24, it said almost 100% of them are on social media. It's quite astounding. Let's now look at this important methodology that I want to share with you, which is called the two in the pool methodology. And what this is basically stating is they did research where they found when you have two female finalists in your application or selection process, what ends up happening is the odds of hiring a woman increases by over 79.14%. And when you have three or more, it even increases greater. Now, with racialized and marginalized candidates, what happens is the increase is over 193.72 times greater when you have at least two or more in your process. And something that's really key is it doesn't even matter what the size of the pool is. It could be 6, it could be 8, but your chances of hiring more diverse talent actually increases when you have at least 2 in the pool. Number 4, let's quickly look at structured interviewing, right? So resume reviewing. So you could consider using AI tools where they can, remove names to reduce bias. But you could also consider having other people in your organization take a look at those resumes with your recruiter to ensure you create a proper shortlist for interviews. What about considering simulations and situational exercises? So for example, in software development, we do pairing exercises. We could do presentations. We could do case studies. You could do technical testing so that we're making sure that we find people with the right skills and we don't weed out anyone based on bias. Thinking about structured interviewing so that we can create questions that everyone is asked in a similar manner and then have an evaluation and a scorecard at the end so we ensure we're finding the right candidate based on our competencies. And finally, diversify your hiring teams. I can actually give you proven data where what we have found in our organization is when we have an actual hiring manager who's a woman on our panels, we find we are more likely to hire a female into our organization. It's actually fascinating. And so think about diversifying your hiring teams because it's proven that this will help you to increase diversity into your organizations. Finally, let me talk to you about employment branding real quickly. And I love this Instagram post from Everling, which says we have 1 founder and 46 CEOs, be the 47th. This is a channel that we can use to literally hire the best talent. I encourage you, craft an employee value proposition and messaging based on your values. I encourage you also to highlight your team's mission and your goals on social media. And also, use social media to show your teams and engage potential applicants because there's a world of applicants out there that are waiting to work at your organization. And finally, imagine the possibilities, friends. Think about it like this, okay? We want to move our boardrooms and make them look like this. Isn't this a beautiful picture of a brand new boardroom that's waiting for you at your organization just by making some improvements and changes in your hiring practices? Thank you so much for participating and being a part. And you can feel free. I'd love to connect with all of you on LinkedIn. Now, to move forward, I would like to stop sharing my screen and introduce our next speaker, who is Kelly Main. And Kelly is, let me